The case you're going to hear argued before you by Mr. Berner is a case that's called Bethel v. Fraser. Um, it's a case that's involving school speech, literally a speech that was given in school that the school administration, principal, and whatnot believed was a vulgar speech and completely inappropriate for something that can be said in school. Um, Matthew Fraser, who is a student, was asked to give a speech supporting somebody who was running for the student council president. It was a buddy of his, and so he got up there and gave a speech to the entire student body, which would include freshmen to seniors, which age ranges mean could possibly be from 14 to 18 years old. The speech, and I'll read it for you so that you can know kind of what you're dealing with here. So the speech is like this. I know a man who is firm. He's firm in his pants. He's firm in his shirt. His character is firm, but most of all, his belief in you, the students of Bethel, is firm. Jeff Coleman is a man who takes his point and pounds it in. If necessary, he'll take an issue and nail it to the wall. He doesn't attack things in spurts. He drives hard, pushing and pushing until finally he succeeds. Jeff is a man who will go to every end, even the climax, for each and every one of you. So vote for Jeff for student council president. He'll never come between you and the best our high school can be. So a fairly short speech. And all the pauses that I put in there were pauses that Matthew Fraser put in there to accentuate his points. He was then suspended and actually sent for some police prosecution because it was seen so vulgar and obscene, and that 14-year-olds had heard it, and that it would have met that standard. Now, lower courts actually found for Fraser. So both the district court and court of appeals found it for Fraser. And so the Bethel School District was the one that signed the petition in order to have the Supreme Court hear the case. So hence they're the petitioners, and Matthew Fraser is actually the respondents in this case. Mr. Berner has taken the side of the school district in this case, so he's arguing that the school district has the right to punish Matthew Fraser because of the speech that he gave, and then the words and the implications that were in the speech.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. We, the petitioners, representing the Bethel School District, would like to show you that Matthew Fraser, after being warned not to give a disgusting and vulgar speech, still decided to go ahead and defile the youthful ideals of 600 young and impressionable students at a mandatory assembly. The words and phrases that he used were so vile that several teachers felt the need to take class time and try to explain the speech to their naive students. Bethel School District does understand and respect an individual's right to freedom of speech. But when that right is taken to the extreme, like Mr. Fraser did, we need to look out for the well-being of all the students. And this is why we, the petitioners, would like the court to find in favor of us. Thank you very much. A school that has over 600 students in it has over 600 potential different ideas. And it's the duty of the Bethel School District to provide a safe environment for all students. This safety includes both physical and emotional safety. If students are emotionally scarred after listening to a school-sponsored speech by one of their own, then the school district has not done its job. To support our argument, I would like to draw your attention to two precedent-setting Supreme Court cases. In the case of Ginsburg versus New York, the court found that it was well within the power of the state to protect minors from access to obscene and vulgar material. An even more pertinent Supreme Court case is FCC versus Pacifica. In this case, the court said the government had an interest in shielding children from potentially offensive material, ensuring that unwanted speech does not occur. when children are likely to be in the audience. Now, if there is a better precedent-setting case than FCC versus Pacifica for why we are here today, I don't know what it is. I'm sure that the respondents will use the Supreme Court case, Tinker versus Des Moines, to argue that students do not forfeit their freedom of speech rights when they walk through the school door. First, I would say that Tinker versus Des Moines concerns symbolic political student speech, not obscene or vulgar speech. And the Supreme Courts have handled those cases differently in the past. Second, I would like to reiterate that after looking after the physical and emotional safety for all students is the most important job that school administrators have. So to carry out such a task, the individual free speech rights of a student need to be weighed against the effect that it's having on the entire student body. Though the words that Mr. Fraser used may not be seen as vulgar in isolation, when you look at the intent of Fraser and how he used the words in the presence of a large number of innocent minors, it's clear to see that the precedent of FCC versus Pacifica should be used to determine this case in favor of the school district and the petitioner. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time and wisdom today, members of the jury, for listening to the merits of this case. It is unfortunate that we even have to be here at all, but Matthew Fraser was old enough to know that what he was doing and what his intentions were when he made the choice to upset the students and staff at Bethel High School with his vulgar and disgusting speech. He knew that since this was a required assembly, all students, even those who were naive and not ready to hear his sexual innuendo and not ready to understand what it meant, but would be in the audience. And yet he still made the choice to go ahead with his speech. Even after he was warned by multiple staff members, he still chose to give this speech. We, the petitioners, love the Constitution and feel that the First Amendment is what sets us apart from every other country in the world. And when it comes to individual liberty, this is especially true. However, we understand that the court has determined that First Amendment has its limitations, and that Matthew Fraser met one of those limitations when he decided to give his vulgar and disgusting speech. It is for this reason that we request you find in favor of the petitioner today. Thank you, and may God bless America.